Fuck around, make my 40 pop.
Alright guys, I was asked if Sarada can actually surpass Sasuke. Now I'm not gonna lie to you guys, my immediate thought was no. Just like a regular progression of an Uchiha member, I personally believe that there is no possible way that Sarada can actually surpass Sasuke. I think what people don't really understand is that Sasuke is literally a once in a lifetime Uchiha. Like, people were talking about Itachi as being once in a generation, and Itachi couldn't even shine the shoes of a character like Madara. I know that right there is kind of like a controversial statement because of course some people run with the theory that healthy Itachi could have possibly rivaled Madara, but I don't necessarily think Itachi could have touched Madara. Madara is coming nowhere close to Sasuke, and regular Madara, matter of fact, scratch that, let's just give Madara the two Renegons. That Madara is coming nowhere close to Sasuke. People have to understand that Sasuke is literally like a once in like 10-15 lifetimes kind of Uchiha member. And just to give some of you guys this example of how some people are actually taking like Sasuke for granted, people are just expecting Sarada to get the Mangekyo Sharingan. Remind you guys, at this particular point, Sasuke is pretty much smoking Sarada in regards to Sharingan progression. And I'm not necessarily saying that Sarada is probably not going to catch up in regards to Tomo's, but we have to understand just getting the Mangekyo Sharingan, that right there is super special. And not only that, getting the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan is even more rare. Of course, we understand that she could possibly take one of the Shin Uchiha clones Mangekyo Sharingan and potentially make an eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, but there is no proof of that. And of course, her being a partial Uchiha member and not necessarily having the requisite chakra reserve is probably not going to help Sarada at all in that particular situation as well. And of course, we can't forget the fact that Sasuke got a literal Sage of Six Paths chakra amp and was also gifted a Renegon even before his prime. Now, one of the answers that I absolutely hate is a lot of people would say that of course she's going to surpass Sasuke because the new generation always surpasses the last generation. I think that's 100% malarkey. That right there is definitely cap. Madara was literally like over 100 years old and nobody surpassed him until Sasuke came about and literally got a handout from the Sage of Six Paths. I think if you're going to use that reasoning, you should be comparing Sarada to Sakura. I think if you're going to use that reasoning, I think she's 100% going to potentially surpass Sakura just because of the sheer fact that I believe that she's going to match Sakura in terms of chakra control and match Sakura in terms of actual strength, but she'll also have the Sharingan. So at this particular point, I think that right there is going to be the actual surpassing. But just flat out for that saying, Sasuke is not going to be that guy. Again, a once in a lifetime type of Uchiha member. So just as a regular progression of an Uchiha member, I personally believe that there is no possible way that Sarada can actually surpass Sasuke. But here is the thing. In 2021, or I'm not necessarily sure what year it is in the Boruto anime, but regardless, in 2021, there is no such thing as a pure shinobi, or there will be no such thing as a pure shinobi, and this is why I believe that Sarada can actually at least match Sasuke, or potentially even just flat out surpass Sasuke. This right here has been detailed to us with Delta, with Kawaki, and even before the introduction of the Kata organization, with Shin Uchiha with his synthetic Mangekyo Sharingan, and even a little bit after that with Mitsu when he won the retrieval arc. A lot of the abilities, and to be honest, the elite abilities could actually be gained by just regular human modifications. Ninjas can literally be stacking up surgeries like they're Kim Kardashian. But now for the modifications of Sarada Uchiha, for her to actually surpass Sasuke, I'm going to give you guys a list of things that could possibly get her up there, flat out surpass Sasuke, and this right here is just super idealistic. One thing that I definitely do want to point out before I list the modifications that could actually get Sarada above the power level of Sasuke, I want to point out that this right here is a very incomplete science. We've seen multiple people in the Kata organization be completely messed up from these quote-unquote experiments. Of course, we understand the finished products and we understand the perfect products, quote-unquote, like Kawaki, like Delta, and even some of the more cyborgs. But of course, let's just have Sarada go through the most ideal set of improvements. And for the anime only viewers out there, I definitely do want to caution you guys because I will be talking about some manga content and there definitely will be spoilers in the future. Let's just say conservatively, you would give Sarada the speed and strength of Delta. Now, we haven't necessarily seen this in the Boruto anime yet, and of course the anime viewers in the future will definitely attest to this. Delta's speed and strength is absolutely elite. At this particular point, you could potentially put it up there and you could potentially even put it past 8 Gates Might God. Now, not only that, of course, because Sarada is an Uchiha, you have to do something to her Sharingans. Now, I do want to point this out. I don't necessarily want to completely take out her Sharingans. I want them to make modifications to the Sharingans, just like in regular bodies. You're not necessarily creating a brand new human being. In that particular situation, you're just adding on to what the human being already is. So I believe that they could potentially add some abilities to what Sada's Sharingans can possibly already be. Now, hypothetically, in the future, if Sarada actually does get a Mangekyo Sharingan, off the rip, you have to give Sarada another pair of Mangekyo Sharingans to get her to the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan status. We're not even thinking of Sarada actually acquiring the Rinnegan, because that right there is literally a legend at this particular point. Damn near no Uchiha member actually just acquires a Rinnegan, and of course, let's just say hypothetically Sasuke isn't dying and giving Sarada his Rinnegan anytime soon. One of the things that I definitely do to Sarada's eyes is give her the ability to actually absorb chakra. This right here is pretty much the ability that Delta has. Now, the ability that Delta has is a little bit different from the Rinnegan ability. Delta pretty much has the ability where she can only absorb chakra from her eyes, period. But also, on top of that, you also give Sarada the ability to absorb chakra out of her hands as well. We understand that they already have the technology and the ability to actually give prosthetic arms with the ability to absorb chakra. I'm pretty sure with the minds of Amato plus Katasuke, they could literally build that into the arms of Sarada. So in this particular situation, her eyes can absorb chakra and her hands can absorb chakra. Now, not only that, we understand how Sarada loves to use genjutsu. Now, this right here probably wouldn't work on Sasuke mainly because he does have the Mangekyo Sharingan and the Rinnegan. Manga readers, please calm down. But regardless, at this particular point, if you guys do recall, back in the Mythic Retrieval arc, there was a synthetic human being that had synthetic dojutsus, and the main ability was the genjutsu. I believe if you add that ability to the Sharingans that she already have and the existing genjutsu that she'd already have, it would just boost the genjutsu power of Sarada. Now, not only that, we're going to steal another ability from Delta as well. We're going to steal the laser beams that comes from Delta's eyes that pretty much prevents people from regenerating. This right here is probably going to be something very critical. Not only was it extremely powerful, but it was also extremely quick as well. And she might as well steal another ability from Delta as well. Well, of course, Kawaki has this ability as well too, and it's pretty much the cell multiplication. I'm pretty sure at this particular point we understand that cell multiplication is damn near super OP, especially from the fight with Baara versus Kawaki. The defense was absolutely insane, even in the battle with Kawaki versus Boruto. We've seen how Kawaki literally just tanked a Rasengan without doing anything but just multiplying a couple of cells on his arm. Give that right there to Sarada ASAP. So at this particular point, you have god level speed and strength with the dojutsus, you have laser beams, you have enhanced genjutsu, and you pretty much have an eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Oh, and by the way, you actually did take the Mangekyo Sharingans from Shin Uchiha. So in this particular situation, you also have time, space, and ninjutsu. So Sasuke can't literally just take Sarada to a different dimension and leave her there. You have the cell multiplication defense, you have chakra absorption, just a whole bunch of things like literally pack Sarada with a bunch of abilities. And I think at this particular point, you could definitely see how Sarada can actually surpass Sasuke. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, even with all of this, one of the things that Sarada definitely has to get down pat is of course the battle experience to actually fight against Sasuke. Sasuke is living off of literally thousands of fights. Sarada herself, because of the time of peace, can't necessarily come close to the battle experience that Sasuke has. Now, not only that, another big drawback to Sarada could possibly be chakra reserves. We understand that she's not a full Uchiha member, which could possibly be a problem when she does actually utilize all of these abilities. But this right here could possibly be mitigated with her ability to actually absorb chakra. But let me what you guys know about this in the comment section below. Give me some of your opinions about Sarada potentially surpassing Sasuke. Let me know what you guys think. It's been your boy Baara, and we out.
It's a knife.